Howdy gamers, my name is Josh, and today I want to talk about D&D, because I love D&D. It's something I started playing in 2018, and I was a cleric, and it was a lot of fun. And then I stopped playing for a couple of years, and then I started playing as a warlock with some of my really close friends, but then I stopped playing. Both of them were due to scheduling conflicts, either with myself or the group. Hee classic. But I've been very fortunate, because for the past year, I've been the DM for a campaign that I've been running with my girlfriend and some of our friends, and it's been really fun, and I'm so happy that I have been able to do this relatively regularly for the past year. I think we took 1 month off because of just a bunch of different scheduling conflicts, but we've been doing really well, and I'm so happy that I've been able to play this. I am, like I said, the DM for this. I was very nervous going into it, but especially just constantly doing it, I've been able to adapt and learned a lot of things. And I think it's just been a really good creative outlet for me in general. And I'm really happy that Dungeons and Dragons exists, as silly as that is. But, of course, I can never be satisfied, because I still have to scratch that itch of making my own character. I absolutely love being the DM for my friends. And yes, do I make every single character they run into? Sure. But it's not the same, because it's not the character that I want to be all the time. I have to be a madman and change between so many different personas in a moment. To be just one for even just a minute would be a godsend. So of course, because I can never be satisfied, and I always need more, like the greedy little boy that I am, I'm going to make characters for every single class in D&D. I may do Artificer down the road, I don't know. I'm doing it in order of the player's handbook. Ta-da! That starts with Barbarian. Whoops. Put a glass shatter sound effect. So let's get started. We're going to start this very simply. We're going to start this with just a simple name, race, and subclass of Barbarian, and then I'll go into further details from there, because I've tried to film this so much and I keep just like word rambling it. So first, we're gonna do race first, and we're gonna do Fire Genasi purely because I just want to play a Fire Genasi. 2, we're doing Path of Beast Barbarian, specifically because of a certain idea that I was having with mechanics, which I will explain in a moment. And 3, the name is Helen. You may be thinking, why is her name Helen? Well, I was looking up, because specifically with the Path of the Beast Barbarian, I imagine that the beast influence would be the claw attacks, and then also bear, is what I was thinking. So I was like, alright, bear, influence, boom. Fire Genasi, volcano. Can bears live by volcanoes? Can they? So I googled, can bears live by volcanoes? And I found this one little article by azanimals.com. And it has 7 animals that live near volcanoes. And number 2 on that list is the ecosystem of non-island volcanoes. It's kind of just a catch-all, where it's like, yeah, if there's a forest near a volcano, animals live there, because, you know, nature's gonna do what it wants. And one of the things it lists is bears, so I was like, yay. But the specific example that they use is Mount St. Helen. So I was like, okay, there you go. Helen. Her name is Helen. And that's where that came from. Let me explain. I mentioned the mechanic. Let me explain that. This also goes into why in the world is Sailor Moon on the thumbnail. Well, that's because I wanted to think like, okay, I don't want rage to be literal. I don't want this to be like, yes, they're just filled with anger and that's why they can power up. I do think that's great for some characters, but that's not what I wanted with this character. I think it can be very easily just twisted to being like a strong sense of emotions in general. But I was specifically thinking, what if I change that mechanic to just be different? And while I was thinking to myself, like, okay, Path of the Beast, I was thinking, hey, Power Rangers have like animal influence, right? I know at least dinosaurs. Honestly, I'm the worst person to be talking about this. The only Power Rangers stuff I've consumed is the 2015 movie where they mention Krispy Kreme a lot, and that's it. That's it. I remember really liking that movie. I should rewatch it. I was thinking, hey, Power Rangers. I was like, yeah, but Power Rangers, that's like a suiting up thing. And I was like, that makes sense for mechanics because it's like, one, when you suit up, you get your resistances to slashing, piercing, bludgeoning, you get stronger, all this stuff. I was like, yes, this makes sense. But I was like, wait a second. What if I changed it up? What if it's not Power Rangers? What if it's a magical girl transformation? Boom. I was set. And I was like, okay, well, how do we do the animal? It's the little cutie things, the little chibi animal things that like fly around and then like is a part of the magical girl like spirit, Let me explain who Helen is. So of course we're thinking magical girls. I was thinking, well, we got to be classic. We got to do the classic. Yes, they're a high school girl because magical girls. 2, she is the daughter of a pair of bakers. You could almost say that when she's running downstairs in the morning, she has a piece of toast in her mouth. Boom. Plus, I just really like the idea of a character being a baker because I really like bakers. Yeah. Helen is a high school baker's daughter, and she absolutely loves working in her small village. She's definitely like a hometown figure. Everybody loves her parents' shop. That's exclusively where they go for like bakery needs, and she loves working there, and she just loves her quiet little life in this village. I imagine Helen to be kind of like just like a very like, all right, let's go get it, just a very upbeat and excited character, and someone who's willing to just like go for anything, and I really just imagine that she's this I say very hot-headed like go-getter attitude is how I imagine her. One of the things that specifically Helen does is at the end of the night with the extra food, she gives the bread and the various muffins and treats and stuff to the animals that live in the forest next to her town. Her parents are kind of upset with it because the animals hang around their house all the time, but she explains that the animals, if they really wanted to, would get the food anyway. And I imagine Helen to be like a chaotic good, if we want to put like a D&D label of alignment to it. But yeah, she loves it. And, even though she does have like some dreams of exploring outside of her village, she's very happy with where she is, and she hasn't really worried about it. But of course, we need to change that status quo, or else Helen's going to stay in that village forever. One night, as she's packing up for the night and feeding the various animals, she hears a bunch of horses off in the distance as they run into town. And it very quickly dawns on her that it is a group of like raiders and thieves that are there to just essentially cause havoc. She doesn't know why they're there, and she quickly tries to get her parents to run away. Her parents are quick to be like, no, we got this. You run to the forest and get away. And she runs off into the night. And as she's running away, she is getting chased, and she's absolutely scared for her life. The classic, oh no, she tripped. She turns around, and as the thief is like, I got you right where I want you, and about to bring the blade down and kill her, one of the creatures from the shop that she fed jumps out in front of her. A tiny little like chibi bear that she affectionately named Pon Pon. I may be pronouncing that right. I stole this name from my friend's cat. It means fatty in Mandarin, or like chubby, and I thought it was cute. So Pon Pon jumps out in front of her, and instead of the blade like swiping through Pon Pon just kind of like evaporates into life, and he's like, what's going on? And that's when Helen has her first transformation. Whoosh-ow! Like I mentioned, she's a Path of the Beast barbarian, and I imagine specifically she has like the claw attacks. So like she has these giant like bear claw gauntlets now, and she manages to fend off the thief. And she's like, well, shoot, I have this power now. I should run off, and I need to go save the village. But sadly, by the time she returns, her village is all but decimated. Her parents are missing. Yes, there's still people in town, but everything has been destroyed. And, she becomes very sad. And she's like, I have no idea what's going on. with that, she, of course, takes a moment to be like, well, what am I going to do? But quickly she realizes the power that she has been granted. And she's like, well, of course, I have to save people. And of course, she is going out with the idea of like, maybe I could find where my parents are. But if she can't do that, at the very least, she is going to try to save who she can with her newfound powers, especially because as the raiders left, they left like a calling card for the group. So she has the intention of, I've got to stop this group. And it's not even really out of rage and revenge, but it's just like, I'm doing this to protect everyone further. And if I can stop this, I will. So that's what she's doing. And that's what is her call to adventure and exploration. And there you go. That's Helen. I think she'd be a really fun character, especially a character that is very, I like to think that Helen is, like I said, chaotic, good, like go-getter, like quick to think. And I know that's a very stereotypical like barbarian trait. It's just like they just run into it. But I feel like it's because if given the scenario, it's not like she's running into every scenario without thinking. But if it's like, hey, I can help someone, she's just going to jump right in without thinking. Just like, okay, yes, I've got to help them. Because that's how she feels with this given power. If she's going to be able to help anyone, she's going to. And that's what it is. The DM can make a plot where it's like, oh yeah, you run into your parents, or you stop the Thieves Guild or whatever. I feel like there's stuff to work with in terms of what the DM wants to do. And yeah, as a note, if I was put into a specific campaign, I would definitely curate my character to what the DM it kind of has in mind. Like if I think this specific backstory for Helen doesn't work, then I'll just tweak it up a little bit. And then there you go. Yeah, that's Helen. Yay! Now, I decided I thought it'd be fun just right at the end because that's what I want to do. I'm just going to roll stats and we're going to be like, okay, these are the stats for Helen. Hypothetically. Of course, if I were to actually play, I would probably re-roll them. But just as a cute little, like, nice bow on top, like, yes, we made the character and we even have stats for it. So, that's what we'll do. Alright, so I personally, whenever I like to make characters, I do the roll 4d6, drop the lowest number, and that's how I make it. I'm just going to write down... I'm just going to write down the stats as I get it. And I know with a Fire Genasi specifically, it's +2 to Constitution and it'll be +1 to Intelligence. So let's roll the first stat. Let's see, that's a 10. Hey, you know, that's not a negative, not a positive. Nothing wrong with that. We got a 10. We got an 11. We got a 13. How many stats are there? 6, right? Another 13. Nice. Goodness. My mouse wheel, also, by the way, is broken. So that's why if I bump it, it just kind of like moves like that. I really need to buy a new mouse, but you know, that's tomorrow's problem. We got another 11. And the last one, we got an 11. Okay. So a very jack of all trades, master of none. But I remember, oh, you probably saw that. That's fine. You know, jack of all trades, master of none, but that's okay. Of course, since it's a barbarian, we're going to make the strength to 13. We'll put the other 13 into constitution, which will go up by 2, which will make it 15. And then... I mean, I'd say, I guess intelligence would be the 10 and everything else will be 11. And then it bumps to an 11. So yeah. So the official stats for Helen, at least with this roll, is a 13 in strength, an 11 in dex, wisdom, intelligence, and charisma, and then a 15 in constitution, which, hey, that's a-okay with me. So yeah, that's it. That's my Path of the Beast, Fire Genasi Barbarian, Helen. I hope you guys enjoyed, and just thank you for listening to me create a character. And I will be back with Bard next. I have no idea what I'm going to make for a Bard. I have like ideas for I think like 4 of the classes, I think it is. But Bard, I don't have any idea at all. But that's okay. We'll get to it. Of course, if you enjoyed, subscribe if you want to see more of me. And, leave a like. And, of course, if you want to comment anything D&D related, please just feel free to leave a comment. Maybe it's, if you want to ask questions about the character that I made today, please feel free to leave a comment. If you want to talk about something that you're really excited about, whether it be like a moment in a campaign you're looking forward to, or like a character you want to build, anything like that, please feel free to leave a comment. Also, I have a Twitter, so I will leave that in the description below if you want to tweet at me anything about your character, and maybe we could get like a small community going. I think that'd be really fun. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble. Thank you for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.